SMQBs, episode 136. I've got a number for you to get started today. You know what it is? 0. The number of games the Texas Rangers will win in the postseason this year. Oh, wait a minute. That is actually, what are they? 6-0?
Have they lost a game?
6-0, up 4-0 right now in the top of the second, on their way to 7-0.
Live pod is
it's okay. Pope gave that cold take with much conviction. So
yes,
that's all
that is a freezing cold take that you shall not be forgiven of, Pope. What's your number this week, though?
My number is 16, as in percent. If they hold on today, the number of teams that have come back in the Major League playoffs in a 7-game series from a 2-0 deficit.
All right. Milk?
0. Just like you. Number of undefeated teams in the NFL after yesterday's bloodbath.
Oh,
Good
what
one.
a shame.
Good one. Rooster, what do you got?
13. That's the number of years that Tyrod Taylor has been in the league, and yet he doesn't know what every quarterback from Pop Warner through college knows. When you get the ball on the opponent's 1-yard line with 14 seconds left, you throw 2 passes in the end zone. If you don't score, you kick a field goal. This dumbass audibles into a run play, and by the time they unpiled the pile, the clock ran off, and we didn't even get 3 points out of the deal.
That was
just
unbelievable.
Unbelievably stupid.
All right.
By the way, speaking of takes, I want to give it to my man Milk. He has the hottest take, I think, of the year when he told us early on, watch out for Michael Penix in Washington.
Is that the headless quarterback we see in his
the guy behind me
right now? We see Michael Penix business right behind Milk's head.
What is that from the north up there in the corner that I see? Oh,
we have a special guest. Holy shit! We have a special guest.
You got a number for us this week?
Oh, it's 6 and counting. You want to know why? It's 6 and counting. Austin Matthews, 2 games, 2 hat tricks. One of 5 players in the history of the NHL to do so. Playing the Chicago Blackhawks tonight. It might be 9 after tonight.
Wow. Okay, that's a good number. So clearly you listened. He was ready for that. Ready for that. All right, let's.
I come prepared. It's like court.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
If it was court, you'd have a gown on.
You'd have a dress on.
I know. You should have worn it. Yeah.
With a little white scarf or something, whatever you wear.
Those are.
Let's get into it. We got to talk NFL. Who wants to lead off? Rooster, what do you got on the NFL this week? Let's jump into it.
Well, they're like Milk said, no longer any undefeateds. We have 5-1 teams. And the amazing thing is that the Detroit Lions are one of them. The Niners and the Eagles went down yesterday. Who would have expected the Niners to end their 15-0 streak to a team that lost Nick Chubb and Deshaun Watson? I mean, I don't know how that even happened. I can't explain it. What do you guys think?
But real quick, can we just talk about Brock Purdy's run up to that date? How awesome it was! It was an amazing run.
I'm surprised after you blew so much smoke up his ass last week that you even want to bring his name up after that game.
Well, I mean, it was just, but he had an amazing run.
He did have an amazing run. I mean, I don't think there's any quarterbacks in the NFL that have had a run comparable lately.
No,
right? It's really, I mean, it's just a special run that you don't see.
It was.
Yeah.
It was special.
Just shows you how mortal quarterbacks like Purdy can be when you take away their weapons like Debo and McCaffrey.
Right, and Trent Williams was dinged up a little bit.
And the kicker's an idiot.
Yeah.
I mean,
let's not forget that. I mean, they should have won the game.
I mean, that game he did everything he could to win the game without 2 of his best players on offense.
Well,
and
what was wrong with Robbie Gould? Why did they need to even replace that guy? He would have made that kick.
Isn't he?
Kickers are a dime a dozen.
Isn't Gould 102?
He still would have made that kick.
Yeah.
I have one question. Can I ask a question? Is House really in trial, or did he just not want to come to the podcast
Ooh.
and talk about the
Ooh.
Jets and the Eagles? I'm just
that's-
asking.
That's a valid
Oof.
question, Moosejaw.
It is a
Wow.
valid
I'm
question.
Discuss.
I mean, you know, the day
I'll-
after Toby usually goes dark.
I'll tell you this, and no offense, House, because I think you would even admit it. One of the worst games I've seen Jalen Hurts play.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Was that due to the Jets defense, or Hurts just was that bad?
It can't get much worse.
The
Well-
Jets have they have a very good defense. They've played well all year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he threw some of those passes. Oh,
He should have
That
been
last-
picked like 6 times.
The last pick he threw was really bad.
really bad. That one.
I mean,
that lost him the game.
Yeah.
Well, you know, every quarterback, every team has a game like that. You know,
for sure.
that's why these old geezers with Larry Zonka
Yep.
are still popping champagne every year. It's pretty damn hard to go undefeated.
Oh my
Um,
God, Rooster coming in with trying to be the voice of reason here. Can we
Voice
just
of
have our fun
support.
for one goddamn
Support.
minute, Rooster? I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean,
No, I mean, there's no
Jeez.
doubt that they look like shit, but you know, so what?
Well,
Everyone
I,
has.
I think the Niners game was a much more of a surprise because the Eagles have been living on the edge. They've
Three
had a couple games they could have potentially lost, but the
Commanders.
Niners look like a wrecking machine after Sunday night.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah. But, you know, I mean, I will say, like, you know, turnovers are just so hard to overcome. I mean, listen to these stats, okay? And you tell me which team won the game. One team had 402 yards of offense and 25 first downs and controlled the clock for 36 minutes and 23 seconds. The other team had 193 yards of offense, 13 first downs, and had the ball for 23 minutes and 37 seconds.
The
Can I
Commanders
guess
won
what
that
that is?
game.
No,
Yeah.
no,
The Commanders
Oh,
won
that
that
is?
game, didn't they?
no. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was because the Falcons had all the 402 yards and 25 first downs compared to 193 and 13. But the Falcons had 3 turnovers
Yeah.
in the game,
Yeah.
and Washington had 0.
Yep.
And you know that's probably similar. I don't have the stats for the Jets Eagles. I know this. Man, that might be the worst offense in the NFL. Is a Zach Wilson run Jets offense. And
Oh,
the
the
defense,
Patriots are worse. The Giants
Well,
are worse.
maybe, but
Certainly one of them.
that was pretty abysmal to watch. I mean, that
There's
was
some
bad.
really bad offenses in the NFL this year.
But
Shocking.
turnovers.
I thought the Giants played their best game yesterday.
Yeah, on defense.
No, they
Yes.
were. Saquon looked really good.
They ran the ball well at times.
Just a boneheaded play away from winning.
Well,
Yeah.
Well,
two
I mean,
times
he-
from the
twice.
1 yard line, and they
Twice.
got no points.
Yeah.
Well, what is the story with Josh Allen? I mean, and with that Bills team in general. I
I
mean,
don't know. I can't figure them
They're
out.
That's what-
inconsistent.
They're the
They're just
Sybil. They're in the
inconsistent.
Sybil category.
Yeah.
the what category?
Multiple
the
times.
Sybil, multiple personality category.
Is that
Oh,
not
you're
the
right.
boiling?
One
pot?
week they put up 40 on the
Right,
Dolphins.
right.
The next week they can't score on the Giants.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't figure them out.
How
If
did the
House was
Bucs
here, he
do?
would say, "Well,
They won, right?
the Bucs."
No, they lost to Detroit,
Yeah.
Oh.
So can I just say
and
something?
they wore the good uniforms.
Yeah.
Let me just
Oh yeah,
say
creamsicle
something.
curse.
If to the Bucs management and our wonderful owners, the Glazers, can we not wear uniforms that represent a decade of losing, please,
Yeah.
ever again? Because you know what ends up happening? You play the worst game you played all year. You fucking suck. Baker Mayfield looks like he was Baker Mayfield, and you lose. So let's
Well, hold
never
on.
put those again.
No,
You
hold
should-
on. Those are the same uniforms they wore when they got to the NFC Championship game against the LA Rams. Was that
Rams, that's
79?
true.
Was that 79?
No, 79.
Milk wasn't even born in '79.
Who was
the
quarterback?
'79.
Was it Doug Williams or Steve Young?
I think it was Doug Williams.
Yeah,
it
I
was-
think so. I think
Yeah,
so too.
but so those uniforms are cursed, but not like
Uh,
you just made them out to be.
Then they went through like 15 years straight of straight losing seasons wearing them. So yeah, they are They are cursed.
Yeah, those uniforms signify one thing: getting your ass kicked. And you should never, ever, ever. They should be banished from the Tampa Bay area entirely, right? Like
really
if somebody
sad.
gets caught wearing one, they ought to get punched.
Our defense played really well, and our offense was just atrocious. So,
I think we got to talk about some injuries to some quarterbacks, don't we?
Quarterbacks, yeah.
Like,
Jimmy
what's
G?
the story with
CMC.
Jimmy G and what's the story with Trevor Lawrence? Tannehill, although not that anybody, I mean, like that's in the category of if a tree falls in the woods and no one's there, but still, I mean, what's the story with Fields and Lawrence?
Fields is probably the most concerning. He broke a thumb on his throwing hand.
Yeah,
he's out for a little bit, right? But I mean, it's the Bears. They're 1-5.
I heard some Raiders fan on the radio today saying that they think that Jimmy G got into the ambulance because he had a split end in his hair.
I don't think that was as serious as right. I mean, they were just being overly cautious.
Yeah, and I think Lawrence says he's fine. He says he's walking around with no pain.
Yeah,
but
how long is what's the story on Danny Dimes?
He's supposed to play next week.
Is he?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to tell if you overpaid for him or with Tyrod Taylor as your second best option, if that's really worth every penny that you paid Jones, right? I mean, it's kind of difficult to know right now.
It's just bad news all the way around. Evan Neal can't block anyone on a passing play. He just stands there and waves at people as they run by him. You know, the other thing I think we saw is that, you know, coaching really matters. I thought Sirianni had a pretty bad game in that loss. The Eagles loss to the Jets when he didn't punt the ball when they were up in the fourth quarter. I mean, like you say, Zach Wilson led offense is not much of a threat to score. You're up with not much time left in the fourth, punt it to Zach Wilson every time. Instead, they go for it in their own end of the field and didn't make the first.
Right. Don't make it any easier on the bum than
right. That to me was a dumb play. I thought the Browns defensive coordinator Schwartz had a great day. I mean, they basically decided that Brock Purdy without Debo was going to have to throw the ball outside the numbers, and they were going to clog up the middle of the field, and you know that they would force him into a deeper drop. And then they've got Myles Garrett and everybody coming at him that whole time. They figure out where Purdy's sweet spot was, which was quick slants and that kind of a play, and took that away from him and dared him to throw wide and long, and it didn't work.
What is the most compelling division right now in football?
Is there one?
I was going to say,
it's the
I'm having a hard
North
time.
is actually North is interesting.
I'm having a hard time finding one. That's why I said it.
The AFC East has at least two good teams.
Yeah, sort of.
What division in, I think it's football, has a team that doesn't have a losing record?
There isn't one.
Yeah, there is. AFC
North.
The
AFC North. Yeah.
That's why I'm like, where did that come from?
It's the picture of mediocrity, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Ravens 4-2, Steelers 3-2, Browns 3-2, Bengals 3-3.
But and by the way, if you look at that right there, there's only one team that gives you any concern. I think, right? Like for going forward, that's the only team you really think has a chance at winning anything. I mean, the Browns have a good defense. The Steelers, I don't know. There's nothing compelling about the Steelers. The Ravens have a highlight reel who will blow, the season at some point for them at quarterback. I mean, the Bengals are the only team in there that you would say is a serious contender.
Not based on what they've done this year. You're going on past history. I mean, they're 3-3, but they have not played well at all.
Well, I guess they've won 2 in a row now, and you could
Yep.
say they've got a little momentum
Burrow,
going.
Burrow looks better.
And they beat Seattle, which is a good team.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what was the final on that? 18,
17 to
13.
13. 17,
Yeah.
13.
Yeah, that's not a decisive win by any means. So
No.
You know,
I
tonight's game could make some things sort of interesting, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if the Chargers win, do you say, okay, they're 3-2 then? Maybe they've won 3 in a row at that point. Do they have something to talk about? Are they getting it together? And along the same lines, if the Cowboys lose and are 3-3, same record as the Commanders, that would be an interesting outcome. On the other hand, if Dallas wins, the Chargers go back to being what we thought they are, perennial disappointment at this point, and Kansas City looks, like they don't have anybody to worry about, and Dallas gets within a game of the Eagles. So that there's some that might be the fate of tonight could really change
Right.
a couple divisions and how
Chargers
teams
get
look.
Ekeler back tonight too.
Kellen Moore is he made a statement he wants to put up 100 tonight against McCarthy.
No, good luck. Good luck on that. Dallas's defense isn't going to play like they did last week in San Francisco. But
Well, you
first of
hope
all,
not.
Sandy, the Chargers are they're not. They're a 9-8, 10-7 team at best. I don't know why anyone thinks they're better than that. And Dallas, no offense, Pope, but they've been talking about with Dak that this is a Super Bowl contender for 7 years. They are exactly who we think they are. They're average.
Miller, I agree with everything you said except the no offense part. I mean, I think you should offend him all you want. I mean, just offend him.
You know what?
He's got the balls of wearing that Cowboys hat right now. I mean, just offend him.
Well, here's the thing. You can take the boy out of Canada, but you can't take the Canada out of the boy. So I have to always try and be
No one
polite.
says that ever.
I'm sorry, I've never heard that before.
Yeah. What the fuck is Canada anyway?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, who cares? All
Well,
right.
I mean,
We're not talking the Grey Cup here, Moosejaw.
Yeah.
If you want to talk some CFL, I need a little prep time, but we can do that next week.
No one cares.
But you're right. You're right, Bison. The Cowboys either get back into the conversation, and then all of a sudden the AFC East and the NFC East are similar, where you have a 4-2 team in second place. Or I think they drop down way below the Lions in the discussion.
Yeah.
They're down there with the Jags and the Bengals.
Yeah.
Their schedule doesn't get easy.
Tell you what,
They
if
play
they lose tonight,
Eagles, Rams.
the hot seat is going to start getting a little hot in Dallas.
Yep.
Because their record is brutal.
As it should. I mean, I've never thought McCarthy was a Super Bowl coach of present time. I know he won one in the past, but so is Bill Belichick, and he needs to retire tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. All right. Anything else on NFL before we get to our locks? Any other takes?
Some
There were some good
Yeah.
games, though. I mean, it was, it didn't look like there was going to be anything really interesting to watch, but the Washington Atlanta game was actually pretty good. The Eagles Jets was great. The Browns Niners was a good game.
Hey, how about this? How about the Houston Texans are 3-3?
Yeah.
How do you think the GM of the Panthers must feel having
Yeah, right.
traded away their first round pick for this year and a bunch of them last year, and picked the wrong guy for their rookie quarterback? I mean, Bryce Young does not look ready for prime time, and CJ Stroud looks like a veteran already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know. Some people take longer. I'm not giving up on Bryce Young yet.
Yeah, that
No,
could
but
be
it's easy to
premature. It
say
could be like Tua was treated early on, and now
Yeah.
we're seeing the real deal.
I mean, and that's the one team we haven't even mentioned is the Fish look like they're back in prime form.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, but against who?
Who have they played?
Doesn't
other than-
matter.
They,
They
lost to-
played one
it does
contender, the
matter.
Bills,
It does matter.
and got their asses whipped by
You
them
know, I
Well,
wanna
this
see how
week
they-
this will be a big week.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they're playing the Eagles.
at the Eagles.
at the
Yeah.
Eagles. This
And
will
then-
tell
and
you.
then-
This will tell you a lot about the
and
Dolphins.
then they've got
Yeah.
Kansas City in Germany in the first week of November. You know, I don't think the Dolphins are all that yet. I really don't.
I think
they
I
have-
think they are. I
they
think
haven't
they are.
played any-
That's a
Eagles.
freezing cold take that'll keep you out of NFL conversations for the future.
That's okay because as soon as they play a team, you know what? Let's see if two actually plays a full season. Go up against a
Well,
real
that's what we've been
defense,
saying.
you
Yeah.
know. So
Yep.
play someone before you can make the bring forth.
Well,
the
like I said,
conclusion.
they've played one contender and
they lost.
lost by 4 touchdowns. So you could be
Blown
right.
out
You could
everyone
be
they
right.
played.
Everyone
They
else.
haven't played anyone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
much
but-
to Milk's chagrin, A-Chain is out for a while.
I've lost.
Whatever,
I also
he doesn't
lost
need 'em.
my- I also
And
lost
I
my-
don't know. Did they
my
blow
running.
out the Giants? I mean, the Giants are a bottom 5 team. And
No,
I
they
don't
didn't blow
think
them out.
I don't think the Dolphins blew them out.
well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll learn a lot about the Dolphins this coming week. So, all right, who's got the locks?
I do. This week's results are perfect proof of the story I used to tell you guys about karma when you start beating your chest at halftime and what happens to you next. So after bragging about being 4-1, this week every one of you won and I lost. So I picked the fucking Niners to continue their 15-0 streak, and who would have guessed they were going to lose to the
Right.
quarterbackless, running backless Browns to PJ Tucker or whatever the hell his name is. What is that guy's name
Oh,
on
yeah.
the Brown?
PJ Walker?
PJ Walker. Never
Yes.
heard of the guy.
Oh, he beat the Bucs last year at Carolina.
Yeah.
I remember him.
So I picked the Niners and lost. Bison stuck with his Commanders and won. House picked the Lions and won, and Pope picked the Raiders and won. So I think
did I
I'm
take?
now 4-2. You took the. Who'd you
You
take?
took the
You
Raiders.
took the Raiders.
Milk took the Raiders.
No,
Nope,
no.
it's-
That was last week.
That was last week. Who'd
Last
you
week.
pick this week?
I took the Dolphins, I thought.
Okay. Well, you won.
So I've won the last two.
Yep. So I think I'm now 4-2. Pope, what are you? You
4-2, I think.
4-2. House 4-2. What are you, Milk?
I don't know.
You're either
Probably
4-2 or
I think I'm 5-1.
No, you're not.
no,
Yeah,
you're not.
nobody's 5-1.
No, you're not. No one's 5-1.
Oh,
I
sorry.
think I'm-
That's my fantasy record.
And so now we're on.
Nice-
we got
nice
week
way to
7
work
coming
that
up,
in.
and there are not as many easy picks in week 7.
All right, let's start us
Well,
off
let's
with
do it.
House's pick since he's not
What's
here.
House got?
Oh, you
Does
asked
anybody
me?
know House's pick?
Yeah, I know.
House
Yeah.
has Falcons getting 2.5.
On the
He's
road.
got
Where
the
are they?
Falcons? Ooh, at Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
Yeet.
okay, I'll take the I'll take the
Ooh.
Bucks. I'll take the fucking Bucks. Give me the Bucks right now.
Wow.
All
Milk.
right,
He's just,
there you go.
he's just
I
being
like it.
spiteful now. He's
Yeah.
he's throwing caution to the wind and just to spite
He's
you.
bet against he's you see what he's doing. He's going against the Bucks every week now. This is his new trend. All right. I'll take Tampa.
Wow.
All right. All right, I'll go. I'm riding that train. Give me the Commanders at New York, giving 2.
That's a solid pick.
Okay.
That's a solid pick.
That's
I'll
just
throw-
a tough.
I'll
tough
just throw
one.
one in there. I don't even know what the point spread is, but Bills over Patriots.
Yep.
What is the line in that game?
That's
8.5.
enormous.
I
They're-
thought it was going to be 14.5. I
Is it
still take
8?
the
Is
Bills.
it now
It's
8?
The
Yeah.
Patriots
Eight
are
right
getting
now.
8
I'll
at home.
Take the Bills.
Yeah.
What do you got,
Except
Pope?
after last night, they didn't look great.
That's okay. It's going to be 38-10. Bills.
I'm gonna ride the
Probably.
Raider train for another week. Raiders giving 3 at Chicago.
Oh,
2
that's-
quarterbackless teams.
That's
We don't know.
interesting.
Jimmy G's in. Who's the
Yeah,
backup
that's
for
interesting.
Brian
Vegas?
Hoyer. Brian Hoyer.
Oh,
Hoyer.
is it really?
For the
Yeah.
Bears, yeah.
No,
No,
for the Raiders, it's Hoyer.
No, it's not. It's that guy
That's
Connor
Hoyer.
or whatever his name.
I don't know. I had no idea who the
It was-
Bears were playing yesterday. That quarterback. Who the hell was that guy? I mean, I had no idea. I didn't even know his name.
His name is T. Bagent, Bagent.
Who is that?
Who is that?
Where did he go to
He's like-
college?
He's like the third string goalie in hockey that they call out of the stands.
Tyson Bagent. He's a rookie.
From where?
From West Virginia? No, he went to Shepherd. I didn't even know that was a school.
I'm saying, I was like, who is this fucking guy?
That could be the most nondescript gay guy ever. Oh my God.
Agent. He threw for 83 yards yesterday. Have you seen his picture? He looks like he's 10.
Yes.
But wait, what? Who's he play for? What are we talking about here?
Chicago
the
Bears.
Bears.
quarterback.
Oh, the
Starting
Bears.
quarterback.
Okay, I thought. Yeah. So
He played for
Moosejaw was right though about Hoyer.
Why were you even doubting me?
Well,
Well,
because
somebody said it was
it was
Bagent, and then
Aiden
you were-
O'Connor. Earlier in the season, it was Aiden
No,
O'Connor,
no,
the
it
rookie.
was not. It was always
Yes, it
been
was.
Brian Hart. No, because Josh McDaniels always has to have his guys there because no one else will play for him.
All right. Well, I'm
Oh.
in agreement with Moose, and I'm going to take the Bills over the Pats. I'm kind of surprised nobody took the Lions getting 2.5 over the Ravens, but I'm taking
That's
the
a
Bills.
dangerous
Oh yeah.
game.
I'm taking the
Yeah.
Bills over the Pats.
Lions did lose Montgomery yesterday. And the Gibbs they have some running back problems, but I don't know.
All right. Anything
What's the
else
spread
on
in your
NFL?
game? What's the spread in your game, Milk?
2.5.
2.5.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. Let's get on with it here, guys. Nothing. That's the NFL. Moose, if you're here, it means one thing. It must be hockey season.
Oh,
We got to get through this because I got hockey tickets tonight. So
okay.
let's get on
well,
with it. Talk to me, Moose.
Okay. Well, again, once
See what I
again,
did there, Patrick?
SMQBs doing the hockey preview a week into the season. So that's good.
Ah, wait. We played one game.
Oh, come
one
on,
game.
man.
Come on.
The season started last Tuesday. Anyways, let's go.
We're not the Sunday morning goalies.
Yeah, that's right.
We will start with the Atlantic Division. Milk, Tampa still has a really good team, but they're getting old. Injuries might just catch up with them. Vasilevsky's out for 2 months. If they can stay healthy, if they're a really good team. I think they're gonna run into some injury problems. It's gonna be them and the Leafs. Austin Matthews, 6 goals in 2 games. Clearly he's on some mission this year. The goaltending, Ilya Samsonov lost, went out in the playoffs, hurt the Leafs. Would they have beaten Florida? Probably not, but they'll ride on how good he is. The Metro Division's the best division. It's the most intriguing division. You've got New Jersey, Carolina, you've got the Rangers, and Pittsburgh. I'm still not a big fan of the Rangers. I wasn't last year, and I think I was right on that. New Jersey, probably the most exciting team in the East with these young players. They've got Jack Hughes, his brother Luke Hughes is joining them. He's probably the second best rookie this year, right behind Connor Bedard. New Jersey, I think, could make a long run in the playoffs. Carolina, Stanley Cup or bust this year. That's it. They're running out of time. And Pittsburgh, this is an interesting year for them. 18 years the trio's been together. Sidney Crosby, Malkin, and Letang. They added Erik Karlsson. I don't think it's going to be enough for them. They might make the playoffs. If they do, I'd be concerned. But they're an interesting team. And I don't usually deal with the worst team in the conference. But, House did send me a message earlier. The Flyers will not make the playoffs. I think the most promising and exciting part of Philly hockey is that there could be a player revolt against Tortorella this year. He is so antiquated in his approach to being a coach. I don't think he lost the season. and Philly starts again from scratch next year. In the Central,
Whoa, you missed a team.
no, I didn't. I didn't. No, I mean, the only reason to watch Washington is OV's chase, and that's a good reason. But they're not. They're otherwise. Sorry, Bison.
That's
You're
why
like,
back in the
what-
day, fans watched the Braves to see Hank Aaron break the home win record.
That's right.
Compelling.
That's right. Yeah, the compelling stories in Chicago. Connor Bedard, generational talent. He might be better than Connor McDavid was when he broke into the league. If Chicago's coming to your town, go see them. Colorado and Dallas are the two teams in the Central to watch out for. Colorado, they're loaded still, and they went out early in the playoffs to Seattle last year. They've added some players, and they still have McKinnon, Cal McCarr, and Mikko Rantanen. Dallas, you know what, Pope, Dallas, it's now or never also for them. The core is getting old. Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, Joe Pavelski. They've added Matt Duchene, another older player. If they can get Oettinger to play like he did in the regular season all the way through the playoffs, they could win a cup.
Miller, quick question on Dallas. How many games will Pope actually attend this year? Dallas Star games.
Is there an over/under, or
Is there? I would say I'm going to set the over/under at 2.
Are we talking about pre-playoffs? 0.
Yeah.
that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Move along?
Pacific Division, 2-team race. Vegas and Edmonton. Edmonton opened the season with an 8-1 loss to nice picture you got there, Bison. 8-1 loss. They need to get a new goal. Skinner and Campbell ain't gonna do it. They need a goalie. If they make a trade for a frontline goaltender, which will take a lot, then they could win a Stanley Cup. Vegas will be in it, but I don't see them repeating. I got New Jersey and Carolina in the Eastern Conference Finals. I've got, if Edmonton gets a goalie, I've got them winning the cup. If they don't, I've got Colorado and Dallas, and then I've got Colorado winning the cup over New Jersey. That is the hockey preview.
Who
In a
are
nutshell.
the 3 best players to skate this year?
Connor Bedard, Connor McDavid, and I'll say OV.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's Crosby fit in?
He's in the top 7 or 8.
What about Matthews?
I never talk about my hometown players. I never do.
Okay.
All
I
right.
never talked about your.
So how
No,
far
no,
how
no.
far do you think the Leafs are going this year?
Oh boy. Will it end tragically? Yes.
I don't know. I mean, listen, I can't even think about it.
Who are the top 2 goalies to watch this year? Like, who are the just lights out goaltenders?
I gotta tell you, Oettinger was awfully good last year during the regular season, and he was really, really impressive. With a season under his belt, he could be one of them. The other one, I'm trying to think. I'll have to get back to you on the other one.
All right. And then my question is, how many games will you watch in the season?
I mean, overall,
Well, let's do this. How many
Or Leaf games.
Maple Leaf games? How many Leaf games will you watch?
In person and television? Just
Just television. I mean, just television total. Just total.
between 60 and 70
Wow,
minimum.
that's impressive.
Wow.
minimum.
You think it's
And
your
then-
national sport?
and if I'm traveling, I miss them when I'm traveling. It's not easy to find a Leaf game on in the US. So that's when I miss them. But no, I'll get to probably 8 games live, and then I'll go home tonight. As soon as I get home, put on the Leaf game.
All right, and then follow up to that. You sort of suggested it there. Does the NHL have something like NBA League Pass? Is there a way to get every single game?
Yeah, they do, and
There is in the U.S.
Yeah, no, we have it also. I have League Pass at the NHL League Pass at home.
I think it's free in the US.
Probably. Actually, I heard they pay you actually to watch it. And apparently, I think it's ESPN, maybe TNT, has started the equivalent of the Red Zone on a nightly basis.
Oh,
Yes.
that's right.
Cool.
I saw that.
Frozen
That's
Frenzy.
That's right,
cool.
Frozen Frenzy.
That's cool.
The Frozen
Yeah,
Frenzy.
yeah.
Moose, you
See?
didn't mention
See,
the
I do a little
Golden
homework.
Knights.
No, you know what? I did mention
you
them.
did.
I did.
Did you?
They'll be in the top 2 of the Pacific, but I don't see them repeating.
So basically,
they-
it's another year of a Canadian team not winning at all.
Yeah,
The
most
streak
likely.
continues.
Oh,
No, he said
geez.
Edmonton. He said if Edmonton gets a goalie.
Yeah, Yeah,
Very
but-
low on. I can't believe how low you are on Toronto. That seems very.
I have to say,
I don't trust it. I don't trust it.
As a person of a certain age, there would be something sort of romantic about Edmonton winning the cup,
Yeah.
because I'm really not sure what Edmonton has to offer the universe other
Nothing.
than winning a
Nothing.
Stanley Cup, right? I mean,
There
other
is-
than Gretzky and was it Grant Fuhrer? Was that the goalie?
Oh, Grant Fuhrer, Andy Moog, they had
Yeah.
Jari Kurri, Esa Tikkanen, Mark Messier.
Messier, yeah.
They had. I mean, they have a great team now. They just don't have the goaltending.
So
but there is
that's
no-
about it.
there
That's what
is
we got.
nothing- There is
I'd
nothing
li-
else to do in Edmonton.
I'd like
Yeah.
to see the Kraken continue to progress. I think they did a hell of a job drafting.
I think they're going to regress.
You
I
know,
think they overachieved last year, and I think they will take a step back.
Maybe, but I mean, all you got to do is look at Vegas for a team that
Yep.
burst onto the scene and
Yep.
had instant prolonged success. So
But they
you
did
never
change.
know.
They
so
changed
you've got
the-
them as the Jalen Hurts of hockey.
Yeah, I did. You know, they changed.
Whoa.
Whoa!
That's going to leave a mark.
Yikes.
You know what? After that,
Boom.
I got nothing.
That's a good place to stop right there. All right, Moose, that's good work, man. That was good work.
Thank you.
That was concise, informative. Appreciate it. Good job. Now we'll probably hear back from you when the Stanley Cup starts. Let's get into baseball. Pope,
See you in 8 months.
I got hockey tickets tonight, Pope. If I didn't say it yet, you got 2 minutes on MLB. Let's
Yeah,
get to it.
no, I mean, let's we'll leave the great debate on wild card advantage to a later date, but
Yes.
sure, it certainly looks like the Rangers. I'm not going to jinx it, but you know, things are looking well for them so far today.
5-1 end of the third right now.
It is. They are, and Eovaldi's looking sharp. They're doing what they need to do. I mean, they got the split last night and what I've got on my background is Evan Carter's amazing catch in the
That
eighth
was.
inning to double up Altuve, which was just so
Couldn't have
sweet
happened to a
because
nicer guy.
he's such a little
That was the
fucker.
best part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I think the Astros, I think they just kind of look past they don't give them any respect. I mean, they beat their ass. We've been their bitches for 10 years. And since the Astros got good, and I just don't think they took them seriously. And the pitch up matching is coming out well. Tomorrow night, Scherzer's came off the DL, which was nobody thought he would be able to pitch the postseason this year. Yours truly will be embedded on behalf of the pod at Game 3 behind home plate for hopefully getting the broom out, because it would be quite sweet if we would knock them out in 4. On the other side, the Phillies and the D-backs, you know, 2 wild card teams. I'm thinking that the Phillies are, you know, they're just tough right now. They knocked the Braves out. I know the D-backs knocked the Dodgers out, but the Phillies just they're turning it on in a way that I don't think the D-backs are going to be able to keep up with. So I see the Phillies winning, you know, maybe 4-2 at worst.
Wow.
You know what I
I'm
think
a
one
little
of the big,
surprised by that.
one of the better stories of the playoffs has been Trey Turner since the fan appreciation day,
Yep.
where they gave him the standing ovation when he sucked. The guy's batting 500 in the playoffs.
What is with you?
I'm just making an observation.
Did you not get our script?
I
What
am
is
making an
wrong with
observation.
you?
Hey, I just made the Jalen Hurts statement. I mean, come on, I can
Fair.
I can
All right,
be a little
fair.
bit objective
The
after
Philly
that.
fan gets credit for supporting their team.
The guy's
like
batting.
they're so
He's
bad.
batting 500 in the playoffs.
Like,
And
we have to
if you
give
looked
them
at him
credit
in
for
Listen,
the
being nice.
first
I will
two-thirds
say-
of the season, you would have thought his career was over.
I mean, what do you guys think? You think Philly's going to win the series?
I think
I
Philly
think-
will win the
I do.
series.
I
but
think
mean,
Philly will win it.
but the Diamondbacks just rolled through the Dodgers. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, if they win tonight, you might start. You don't want to say death. You don't say the word too soon, but I don't know. I mean, you didn't see them coming. So listen. Side note on baseball, in follow up to a discussion, I think to a Lasso last week. I'm not sure I understand this yet, but Kim Ng is out in Miami.
Yeah.
And they wanted all she did was take him to the postseason this year, and they rewarded her by wanting to put a president over her, president of baseball operations,
Making her
over
number
her
2 instead
and
of.
make her number 2.
I don't get it.
What is going on there? And I will say I haven't read too much about it yet, but that doesn't make a whole lot of fucking sense. And you know who I'd be really concerned about right now if I was right now?
The Red Sox.
No, your guy, Brian Cashman.
Oh, well, yes.
Cashman might be looking over his shoulder today.
Yeah, right.
With her connection to the Yankees. So I don't know.
Rooster would welcome that.
I would welcome that, but the Red Sox have no GM right now, and they may snatch her up before the Yankees can. Hal Steinbrenner can't make a decision.
Yeah,
in less than 6 months.
Yeah. So anyway, interesting update. All right, lots of baseball to go. And 5-1, middle of the fourth right now. Milk, talk a little NCAA football for us.
Well, the game that I highlighted last weekend came down to exactly how I thought it would go. Very exciting. Oregon, Washington. I've talked a lot about Penix. Had a chance to really watch him in person for the first time. He is so he doesn't have the strongest arm, but man, is he accurate. He threw some unbelievable throws to Oregon's a very good team. Double coverage, splitting guys. I was very impressed by the way he was throwing the football. He ends up 4 touchdowns, over 300 yards. To Rooster's point earlier about coaching, I thought this Dan Lanning, for Oregon's coach, made one of the stupidest decisions I've ever seen with 2 minutes to go in the game and 3 or 4 point lead. And he's at the Washington 47-yard line on a 4th and 3 play. And he goes for it to win. He tries to end the game. They don't get it. Oregon gets the ball back, goes back Washington gets the ball back and goes back and takes the lead, and it comes down to a field goal, which the Oregon guy misses. But man, just a really bad decision, and he ended up blaming the whole loss on himself. But really good. Washington's for real, guys. I know I've been saying it nauseatingly all year, but Penix is a really good quarterback. They're a real threat. And with USC looking as bad as they did against Notre Dame, horrible offensive line, Caleb Williams was running for his life. Their defense sucks.
They're out.
I mean, they are the team to beat. And I think they're going to be there at the end. I had them in our preview in the playoff as a dark horse, and I think they're going to be there.
Man, that would be something, wouldn't it? I mean, can you see that after the devastation of the Pac-12 that they somehow? What if they won the title?
It would be
Holy
amazing.
shit, that would be amazing.
It would be absolutely. They still got a bunch of. Look, Pac-12's good, very good. They've got a tough schedule, but I think they're going to be there at the end. I'd say the biggest news of the weekend is in Athens, Georgia. Brock Bowers, who's one of the best players in college football. He's out for 4 to 6 weeks with a ankle. That's a big loss.
He's having surgery.
Their offense is so dependent on him. And they've got a young quarterback. It'd be interested. I'd love to hear your thoughts, Pope, but I really wonder now. Georgia has shown signs of vulnerability throughout the year.
They almost lost to
I
Auburn.
really want to see what happens now with him. They've got a tough schedule. I mean, they got to play Florida. We're not going to beat them, but Missouri, Ole Miss, at Tennessee at the end of the year, probably without him. I really question whether or not they could finish strong here with Bowers gone. So
I mean, I think Georgia, because, and we looked at this last year, their cupcake schedule in the SEC East, I'd still say that they are going to be favored, double digits for all the rest of their games. And with or without Bowers, they should run the table. The question is, when does he come back? It probably won't. I'm doing the math. If he's out 5 weeks, then he's going to miss the rest of the regular season. If he's out 6 weeks, he's going to miss the SEC championship, which is, even though Alabama has struggled, looks like they have the inside track to that. Does that affect their ability to make the playoffs? I don't know if it does or not, but Georgia's definitely more vulnerable without a good Bowers.
absolutely,
No question.
and circle that game in Knoxville.
Yeah,
that won't be a gimme.
I don't know. So Tennessee comes to Tuscaloosa third Saturday in October, and that they're laying in wait after what happened to them last year when they ran the field and ran the goalpost into the Tennessee River. So that should be an interesting game. Alabama wins that game, and then they only really have LSU between them and the SEC championship game. So
yeah,
here's what I'll say about college football. What I got for you, I'm disappointed that Boston College isn't being discussed more. But beyond that, this Brock Bowers guy, I mean, he's got to have tightrope surgery. Raise your hand if you want to have tightrope surgery. I mean, that sounds fairly precarious, doesn't it? I don't like the sound of that at all.
Does the surgeon have to stand on a tightrope while he cuts on his ankle?
You have a 50,
sounds below
50
the standard.
chance.
Hey, I'm
sounds
going to
like
be.
50 chance.
It sounds
yeah,
like they're
how about
hedging their
Rooster?
bets right from the get start.
Yeah,
Guess,
it's a
from the jump.
it's
They're
a-
hedging.
there better be a safety net for that surgery. I'm going to be at a game this weekend of 2 6-0 teams ranked in the top 10.
Penn State, Ohio State?
Yeah.
Oh,
You're going to be there?
Oh yeah, I'm looking
Wow.
forward to it. Yeah.
wow,
That's the game of the weekend, baby.
I know it's going to be
Game
fun.
of the year so far.
Yeah.
Hey, we
All right.
haven't talked a lot about Penn State, but I mean, wow, if they win that game, that changes everything. Whole
Every year,
landscape.
Penn State about this time, they're shown for the fraudsters they are. So let's see
Yes, we'll
if our
find out.
buddy Matt Rosenberg and those guys can actually do a big game on the road.
Yeah. All right, who's got a punch? The rare
Anyone?
week without a punch?
No punching.
Amazing. How about a lasso?
I'll give you a lasso.
Good.
Oh.
Thank God. Thankfully, somebody came fucking prepared.
Give you a lasso.
Sound like a bunch of amateurs here tonight, fellas.
The Lasso is the Maccabi team that's come over from Israel and played is playing three NBA games. I was scrolling through Instagram or something the other night, and to watch the national anthem, the Israeli national anthem in Brooklyn, and the support that the Brooklyn fans showed them was pretty incredible. It was very, very emotional. And I think it's wonderful that the Israeli team has continued to play because it gives some of those folks some hope right now.
Yep.
And there's not a lot of hope. And
Yep.
I give those kids who are not military because they're on the basketball teams. And I will also say Amari Stoudemire for his stance was unbelievable. I don't know if you guys saw it. He owns part of a team in Israel. He went and played basketball in Israel. And he basically came out and said, anyone who supported Black Lives Matter and doesn't support the Israelis, you should get lost because you don't know what you're talking about then. And so, big lasso moment, I think, for Amari Stoudemire with the Jewish community.
Moosejaw, good one. You
Good one,
came.
Moose.
You might be trying out for a permanent spot on this thing. Keep delivering this kind of content.
Oh,
That's
whoa,
good work.
whoa.
Oh, everybody, we'll take a vote behind closed doors. Don't worry.
I have no chance then.
Just don't hold your breath.
I think
Who's got a buzzer beater?
Milt's gonna fix the vote.
Yeah.
I've got one buzzer beater that is could be a minor lasso. I just want to give a shout out to Jordan Montgomery, the pitcher for the Rangers. The Yankees gave up on this guy, got nothing of value for him, and he's a damn good left-handed pitcher. I never understood that trade. And what does he do? He comes out game one, outduels Justin Verlander, pitches 6 1/3 shutout innings, and struck out the best player on the Astros, Yordan Alvarez, 3 times in that game. And I'm just really happy to see him being successful again as a starting pitcher.
Well, I mean, and the stated reason they gave up on him is they said that he couldn't pitch in the playoffs.
Yeah, if they would know, anytime recently.
You got to get to the playoffs, don't you?
Yeah, right. So
any other buzzer beaters?
I've got another one, unless somebody has one.
I got. let me go.
You go first. You go first.
I think we're all pretty good at this on this pod, but this concept of talking trash and then not living up to it. But man, Deion Sanders, you talk so much shit, and then Friday night give up one of the worst comebacks I've ever seen to a shitty team. No, wasn't a good team, a shitty team.
Yeah,
Stanford team that was the biggest comeback they've ever had in the history of their school, I think. Just a bad look. And
I don't know. I'm going to push back on that. Now, wait a minute.
Back to reality.
There's a difference between being confident in your team and talking trash. Most of the other coaches, when Deion was getting too much attention for their liking, were the ones talking trash. Deion has kept it kind of in-house the whole time, and certainly has been willing to come out and say when his team shit the bed. So I don't know.
Did you hear him after the TCU game, the first game of the year with the reporter?
Come on.
He also seems to be a little bit too focused on which celebs are on the sideline and less on defensive strategy in the second half.
I'll disagree with that too. He's trying to build a program. And you know what? In today's CNBC, TikTok world, you get those celebs on the sideline. That's going to get the recruits.
I'll give you
coming
that.
there.
So you're now hearing from our resident Swiftie with his TikTok generation views.
Speaking of that, though,
that's a good segue.
Have you guys heard the rumor though? And I don't know if it's substantiated or not, but it's all over the internet that Shedeur Sanders was selling swag at halftime on Instagram.
What?
Come on.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Oh yeah, no. It's all over internet. It's all over.
What do you mean selling it? Like on some?
Yes,
like
hawking
eBay?
his
Like
merch.
he made an appearance on the Home Shopping
Instagram.
Network.
No, on his Instagram.
Did he take a pair of his dad's sunglasses?
Week
Holy
7,
shit.
Shedeur Sanders is getting roasted for selling his swag.
All
at
right.
halftime.
I got
So I'm just saying, Deion needs to get control of that locker room. That's all I'm saying.
Agreed.
Well, all right, so I got my buzzer beater here, and the Taylor Swift reference is in 2016. She played at this sporting event. It is the United States Grand Prix taking place this weekend in Austin, 56 laps at the Circuit of the Americas, and Danny Ricciardo, the most famous driver in the US of A, will be back on the circuit, on the grid.
All right.
Any other buzzer beaters?
I have a quick last one.
Okay.
Caitlin Clark's Iowa women's basketball team played an outdoor exhibition game at Kinnick Stadium and drew almost 56,000 fans for an exhibition game in a women's basketball. It's just amazing where that sport is going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
That's
All right,
awesome.
guys. Good show. Good week. Moosejaw. Thanks for joining
us, Moose.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Brought
you.
it tonight.
Go
Everyone,
Cowboys.
Good job. Good job.
we've got the Rangers 5-2 in the top of the 5th.
Oh,
Yeah, getting a little
Watching
Little
baseball.
close.
Oh, it's starting to get interesting.
Oh.
Interesting.